Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Lights Out with Ish and Eve. I'm Ish and this is Eve, and we are back to discuss the weekend, one of the weekends of all time that was Spa.
Yeah, it did not deliver on race day.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to. I was really excited, really nervous. Wet race.
Agreed. Yes. On paper, it was like the scene was set for a great race. And then I feel like the best session of the entire weekend was SQ2.
Literally. Like, what the hell? But I don't know whether it's just me. Like, obviously, driver's safety is the most important thing, 100%. But I'm like, did that need to be red flagged? I feel like we've raced in worse.
Yeah, I think like the red flag was fine. It just lasted like too long. And then like even more than that, once it got going again, the race was just boring. And the sprint was kind of boring also.
Oh, the sprint was so dull. Fucking nothing happened in the sprint.
It was just like a whole weekend of just like quite dull race sessions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's like P2 gets a slipstream up Eau Rouge and overtakes, and then that's all.
And then that's it. Yeah, game over. Yeah. But somehow I'm sure we're going to find enough to yap about for the next
Oh my
hour.
God, no. But also we've got a lot to yap about that's happened. 'Cause 3 weeks off in between. And in that time, we had some massive news break.
We did. God, it feels like so long ago.
I know, and I almost forgot.
Oh, surely we've talked about it.
No, we haven't. We haven't talked about it because it happened like fucking 3 weeks ago. Like, so much has happened since then, but we haven't had an episode since then. So obviously what we're referring to here is Red Bull sacking Christian Horner, which is just crazy.
I know. I think I made a video about it on the day, just a little like TikTok. And like a lot has obviously been said about it and what that means for Max and what it means for Mercedes and George and like what's going on there. I don't think Christian's done in F1.
God, no. He'll be back. 100% he'll be back.
For real.
And like as Toto said, did you hear what Toto was like? They were asking him about it at Spa, like at the race weekend. And he was like, for all we know, he could end up at the FIA and then I'm really in the shit. I was like, true. He would be so annoying in the FIA.
Yeah.
He would be so annoying.
I know. But honestly, and I said this in the video I made on the day as well, like, if I were Cadillac, I would be looking at snatching Christian Horner up. Because, like, if there's anyone on the grid that knows how to take a team from nothing and turn it into a championship-winning over and over and over again team, it's Christian Horner.
Exactly. So. 100%. And what I think is hilarious, if he does end up going to Cadillac, who is one of the drivers that Cadillac are potentially hiring? Sergio Perez.
So true. Together again.
Oh, hey. I fired you the other day. Remember that?
Hey, bestie.
Remember when I kicked you out of the seat for smashing the car to pieces and didn't believe you that the car was bad?
Yeah, crazy.
Reunited. But
I was so much younger then.
Yeah, a year ago. But no, I think it is kind of crazy just the timing because obviously he's had his controversies.
Yes.
But the timing is weird. He's been the only team principal Red Bull has ever had. He's been there 20 years, multiple world championships, drivers and constructors, and you just get rid of him mid-season. Not even summer break. It's just bizarre. Gone. Like, you do see, obviously, mid-season team principal changes, Alpine, all the time. And it's just, like, someone that's been there that long and is just, like, Yeah, it's just a bit odd, the timing, but, like, go off, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I
and,
don't
like, there's a lot of
necessarily think it's
speculation.
bad, but, like,
Yeah, there's like a lot of speculation about what it means for Max and all that, particularly with the timing, and if it's like a Hail Mary to keep him, or if it's because they know Max is leaving, so they feel like it's Horner's fault. But like, ultimately, we're not going to know until like
no.
a contract announcement is made. I mean, Toto in Spa sounded very like, without saying it, like George and Kimi were going to be his lineup for next year. I never thought that Max was going to be going to Mercedes next year. I figured it was going to maybe be a 2027 play.
And I think I think you, when we spoke about it last time, were probably bang on with they want George on a 1 year, and George is like, no.
Yeah,
So
which is why the contract negotiations are taking so long.
Yeah, and valid for George to not want a 1 year. He deserves more than that. He deserves a long-term contract with that team, but Max Verstappen is Max Verstappen, so...
Yeah.
And then I'm like, do you sign George?
I feel like they'll say it's like a 1+1.
Yeah. But, like, do you sign George on a longer-term contract and then give Kimi 1 year? But then, like, by the end of next year, Kimi might be flying. Like, look at Oscar Piastri in his second year versus his first year. Like, it's... Totally. You just don't know. And I think it's... Max is so funny as well on media day when they were, like, asking him about where he's going to be next year. And he's like, well, I don't even know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. So, there's lots of different things that can happen. I was like,
so
oh my
sassy.
God. I know. But anyways, back to Christian Horner. Obviously, then Laura Mekies has moved over to Red Bull from RB.
Yes.
And Alan Permain is now the team principal at Racing Bulls.
Yes.
So that's just how that's kind of worked out. Laura Mekies
now has a 50% success, like, win rate.
And he's reunited with Yuki Tsunoda. So
True.
Those two go way back. And
True.
yeah, there's also, like, obviously been talks about Ferrari ditching Fred Vassar, and then there was like, could Christian Horner go to Ferrari? It's like, I don't know.
It's never gonna happen.
No.
I feel like that's like never gonna happen.
But the meme that I saw, and I sent it to you at the time, and I was like, this would just be the most like backward situation ever. If that did eventuate and Max did go to Mercedes, like, what the fuck you mean Toto is now working with Max and Horner is now working with Lewis?
That would
like,
be so silly.
If that, obviously that's so many things that would have to eventuate for that to happen. But if that did happen, imagine then telling someone in 2021.
Yeah.
Like,
just so silly.
Ridiculous. Anyways, the other thing before the race weekend, or about the race weekend, is that Pirelli decided to rock up with a tyre compound gap in the tyres that they brought. Bringing the C1, then skipping C2 and going C3, C4 in hopes to make a two-stop.
It rained. Like, what were you thinking doing that sort of a test in Spa, where like the chance of rain was so high that there was there was no...
Also, I don't think it would have made a difference. Like, so many people did like 70% of the race on a medium. Like, it still didn't, like, the medium didn't really, I mean, some people's mediums did end up not lasting the whole time, but like, I still think if you'd had mediums and hards, you only still would have needed one stop in a full dry conditions.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about this the other day, and I feel like people in the comments will be able to like tell me why this wouldn't work. But like, if you gave, and like obviously they limit the types of tires because like sustainability, and they don't want to just bring like every tire and anyone can use whatever they want. But let's say in a world where that restriction wasn't there, what I wonder what would happen if any team could use any tire, but in the race you had to use 3 different compounds, which means every race is like forced to be a 2-stop, and you can pick any like level of tire but you have to use 3 different kinds of tires. I just want to thought experiment, like, what would happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I already see many issues with this. It kind of, I feel like, on one hand, it like opens the door to different strategies, but then on the other hand, it closes the door on like tire management to a degree if you have to 2-stop every race and are using so many
Of
different
course.
tire compounds. And it's like, then, like, I mean, obviously George got disqualified in Spa last year, but also like Charles in Monza last year, like it kind of closes the door on just being able to nurse your tires home and pull off a 1-stop when no one else is doing that, and then winning the race on like just by saving your tires crazily. Like I think it kind of, I mean, fuck knows. I'd like to see it.
No, I completely agree with you. I think it would get rid of that, but I think that's less exciting to watch than like just how fast can you go. Obviously, like the skill in driving is being able to do that, or like skill in driving is being able to manage your tires through a race, and like Oscar did that incredibly this weekend.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about it and I was like, what would it look like if they could just have any tire?
Yeah.
Anyways, feel free to share in the comments what you think of that tonight.
Yeah.
Anyways. Anyway, that was that.
All right.
But anyways, I'm just very glad that I decided to watch the race this morning rather than stay up and watch it, because it would have started after midnight Sydney time. Meaning then like it would have meant to start at 11 p.m. Like I would have gone to work today on like 2 hours sleep, and I was already struggling. So
Yeah.
I'm very glad that I made that decision.
No, that is a very good call, because yeah, I also like had to go to work at 5 p.m. Race was meant to be at 2, and I was like stressing that I was going to have to leave when the race wasn't finished yet. And if it was an exciting race, then I would just be like the whole time at work. But because once the race actually got going and there was no safety cars or anything,
there was nothing.
it genuinely finished like 2 minutes past the time I was meant to leave, and it literally was like, Oscar Piastri. I was like, slam computer. I was like hustled out the door. I was like, okay, I can see the rest later, whatever the fuck. Like, I need to go. But at least I saw. But even if I did have to leave, like, I was kind of, like, in the end, that was the only
clear what
real.
was gonna happen.
Yeah, there was nothing really like else that could happen. Anyways, shall we get
Let's get into it.
the start of the weekend? So
Yes,
obviously,
FP1.
yes, sprint weekend, solo practice session.
Solo.
Carlos immediately has issues. It's like, okay, great. Well,
cool. Yeah, Carlos is back on his bad luck shit, for real.
yeah. As soon as they were like, oh, I was literally like, I hope that they can get him back out, because fuck. And they did, and it was fine. But I was just like, God, can this man catch a break? No.
Williams just cannot have like both drivers do well. Like in the sprint, Carlos did great. Alex was down the back. The race, Alex scored points up in like P6. And
P5,
Carlos
no?
had like, maybe P5.
Yeah.
And Carlos was like down the back in like P18 or something. And I was like, bruh.
Literally, they just can't. Anyways, it's fine. But that was a bit like, meow. And then Stroll also had a little problem, but then they just changed his seat and off he went. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I saw some memes about that, and it was like, oh, I'm having issues, and it was like, oh, with the seat, and like someone commented like, are you sure it's not just with the driver in the seat? I was like,
no, but.
Did you see he made some actually really like shitty comments in
Did he?
Silverstone? Yeah. And
Oh,
he like,
after.
called out for it.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever driven, like, da 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 da. And like, a bunch of people have come out and been like, that is so unacceptable. Like, you can't, your team has worked so hard on that. Like, you can't speak to them that way.
Your teammate is scoring points.
Yeah. Well, not this weekend.
No, but last weekend, no?
Sucked.
Yeah, Aston Martin was bad, but like, yeah. And it's also like, obviously sometimes when drivers are in the heat of the moment, you know, they're like, this car fucking sucks.
For sure.
But like, it was pushed it a bit far.
Yes, definitely.
Like, there's definitely drivers that are like, oh, this car's terrible to drive. This is horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was just too much the way he said it. And like,
just because
because of who he is.
Yeah. It's like, is that the problem?
Yeah. It just came across as very like, my daddy owns the team and I've had a silver spoon up my ass since I was born. That's not the same, but you know.
You love to just like rattle off sayings like slightly incorrectly, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
Like you almost every time just like mix sayings together or like half say things, and I'm like, slay, works for me. Let's go. Someone commented once because we posted a clip and you'd said like, I don't know, I think you said like can of fish or like kettle of worms or something.
Oh, yeah.
You just like mixed them together, and someone commented about it, and I was like,
Oh.
so true actually. And then since they commented and pointed it out, I'm like, you actually do that a lot. It's really funny.
Hey,
Not that it matters.
When we
They
film
get the
these,
point.
No, totally. But when we film these, like I've been up watching the race, or if I've gotten up really early, I'm tired. Okay?
And also just like when you're just yapping for like an hour plus straight, you gotta say some shit wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's really funny and it's fun. I like it. Anyways.
True. Anyways, what else happened in FP1? SD Bestie had a pretty decent little run into the gravel. Mm-hmm. And there were a few like little offs and lockups and things like that, but like nothing too serious.
Oscar set a lap that was like a whole second up at one point, and I was like, he was flying.
Yes, and also Max was looking way quicker than I thought he was gonna be coming into this weekend. I was like, okay. Like, I know he's obviously very good around Spa, but like, okay.
And like Red Bull went with a really, really low downforce setup in practice and for the sprint, which was a master stroke. And then tweaked it for the race because it was meant to be wet. And that's the thing, everyone went for wet weather setups because it was going to be wet. And then it was a dry race. So I'm sure Max was like, oh, could have kept my low downforce set up and got past Charles at least. But yeah, not to be. But it was like Oscar was looking very, very fast. Lando was off him by a solid chunk, and even off of Max by a solid chunk. And on the commentary, they were kind of saying like, it is strange to see Oscar come in and just do that because Oscar likes to build into a weekend. Like he kind of might take FP1, FP2, like he'll just kind of slowly build up, and then qualifying he's like bang, race he's like bang. Whereas Lando often comes out hot and you just know if he's quick from FP1. So to see Oscar come out FP1 and just be that quick, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
No building this weekend.
He had a bit of a chip on his shoulder after Silverstone. Yeah. So I'm not surprised by that. No. And also when you've only got one practice session, like you kind of have to hit the ground running. So
True. Yeah, it's a good point.
Anyways, I think that's it for practice, unless you had anything else.
No.
Beautiful. So sprint quali.
Yeah.
So at SQ1, we had a few crazy knockouts. We had Kimi Antonelli right down the bottom, Colapinto, Lewis Hamilton, Nico Hülkenberg, and Alex Albon knocked out.
So obviously Kimi, he went off through the gravel and probably caused himself some damage for his second lap. Yeah. And he also spat a bunch of gravel onto the track, which then caused damage on his teammate's car, causing his teammate to then get knocked out in SQ2. So that wasn't great for Mercedes.
Yes, not ideal.
But yeah, when Lewis spun, he did ruin the laps of Albon, I know for sure.
Yes.
And
I think everyone else was kind of okay.
I think
Nico
the main one
maybe,
was
but
Albon that he ruined the lap of because it was
Yeah.
right at the last chicane. So no one's finishing
I
their
know.
lap. Good luck.
Yeah, and it was just like a short yellow flag, but then it like went green again. So it was only the people that were like in that little like sector
Yeah.
that actually like got affected. And thankfully it wasn't too many people. But it did mean he obviously got knocked out. Because his first was his first was that in main quali? His first lap got deleted due to track limits?
No. In main quali, his last lap got deleted because of track limits, and that's why he got knocked out in real quali.
Right. Yes,
If you forgot,
correct.
he got knocked out in Q1 in both.
Yes, and so did Kimi Antonelli.
Kimi
anyway.
is on a rotten streak.
He is.
And
like,
not all by fault of
after-
his own, to be
I
said.
know. And he was quite emotional about it, like in the media pen, and like it's hard. I think like he came out of the gate so strong, and like you're halfway through the season now, like the fatigue's going to be wearing in, you're not used to it. Like as a rookie, it's going to be a lot, and I think it'll be so easy to like after you've had a few fumbles to just
And like
get a little
with
in your head about it.
all the engine failures as well that he's had, like not being his fault, but it still adds to the pressure. But I did want to talk a little bit about Mercedes as well, because Mercedes they started really, really hot. George Russell was like P3 finisher all the time, and was almost looking like best of the rest after the McLarens. But something's up with the Mercedes car, I fear, or everyone else has improved and they haven't, because since their double podium in Canada, George Russell has not had a top 4 finish, and Kimi Antonelli hasn't had a points finish. And I'm like, surely, because it's both of them that have had a drop off in form.
Yeah.
Surely that's giving the car is involved.
Yeah, I think I would say it would lean more towards the other teams just continuing to improve and I think part of that would be because of the regulation change. Like Mercedes are probably just absolutely tapped out for this year. They'll do their best with Ferrari in the like battle for second in the constructors, but like bottom line, if they come third, they get more wind tunnel time, which is probably more valuable to them anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's like they're not coming
I don't
first,
think they're
so
super stressed.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so like second, third, who cares? So I would say it's probably more that they're just not developing the car anymore, whereas Ferrari are still.
Yes, and I do,
weirdly.
yeah, and like I get that, but like if it's gonna impact your drivers. Like Kimi is now like in the pits of hell crying in the media pen, so surely
I mean, yes, but like if he also knows his seat's safe, then like he can have a bad weekend and it's okay. He can have a few bad weekends and it's okay.
You can have 4 in a row and cry in the media pen. It's okay.
Yeah, like I don't think, as much as the commentators are like, oh, Kimi Antonelli, like I don't really think there's a lot of pressure on him.
Oh, no. And like there's been no rumours. Like he's very well protected at Mercedes.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
I do think that his slump in form coinciding with George's slump in form is like, it's not all his fault. Like there's other things going on. Because clearly Ferrari have upgraded their car and it's worked intermittently.
For sure.
This weekend.
I mean, it's nice when it does.
Yay. And then, anyways.
But yeah, so that was kind of SQ1, unless you had anything else to say about it. No. So we had SQ2, which was actually, genuinely, in my opinion, the best session of the entire weekend.
Yeah, literally.
It was so exciting.
Yeah.
So eliminated, we had Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, and Liam Lawson.
Yes.
And so the McLarens were the only ones that kind of went out at the start and did 2 laps. And Oscar, like off the bat, set a time that was like half a second faster than Lando. But then got deleted for track limits. So, which was fine. He still had another lap, like that they could do. But that would have been bad if if they'd only given them one run.
Yes, because that was literally crazy. But like, oh my God, the fucking track evolution in that session was insane.
Because Max then went like 0.6 faster than Lando.
Yeah.
And then Charles was looking really quick. And then like both RBs went to the top.
And both Haas's went to the like up there as well. Like everyone was just going, and the McLarens were just like bolt, 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 bolt. And I was like, I was like, holy fuck. And then like Lando was in the drop zone, and I was like, but then it like popped up like purple, and I was like,
yeah. You were like,
if he can keep it on the track, he's fine. But then it finished the session Oscar P10.
Yeah.
And then Lando, like, at the end went, like, P1, and I was like, okay, but...
Yeah.
Oscar P10, like, I was literally like, oh my God, where?
I know. How?
No.
What is happening? It was just the craziest session to watch. It was so much fun, because, like, all these cars just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Were just going faster and faster and faster.
And the thing is, Oscar was P10 by, I think it was 400ths from P11.
That's crazy.
So that was really stressful.
Yeah.
I haven't often been in that situation with Oscar. But
yeah, you're like, no, you're fine.
Yeah. I'm like, But anyways. SQ3. Yeah, SQ3.
Yes, SQ3.
Also, SQ2, or
yes,
basically a whole sprint quali. Wait, I'm lying. I'm literally lying. Am I lying? I think this was in... I can't remember if it was sprint quali or real quali. It was sprint quali. It was real quali.
Was this like the time deletion and then like moving around and stuff?
Well, yeah, because Lewis got his time deleted, so Bortoletto snuck through and then made it into Q3. I was like, well, things that can happen, but that was real quali. Yeah. So correct. I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But SQ3 was just a one-lap shootout, and Oscar just did an absolute banger of a lap and went half a second faster than Max to put it on pole.
And also the Haas's were like low-key using the power of friendship a little bit with the like slipstream. Oh, really? They were like following each other around the track, like giving each other the slipstream. And I was like, that's cute. Nice. But like when you're both into Q3, which doesn't happen often, like, it's like, because they also went with a really low downforce setup for the sprint. So they were flying.
How good.
But the track did not have the same evolution that we saw in SQ2.
No.
Probably because there was only a one-lap shootout, so
it just cooled off,
But yeah, Oscar got pole by a fat margin and set the track record. So...
Oh, did he? I didn't know that was
with a 1:45.10. No.
Oh, good. I did hear...
I don't know if that time may be wrong, but...
I did hear one of his laps, I don't know if it was like sprint quali or... It must have been sprint quali. It would have been sprint quali. He set like his average speed over the lap. Yes. Is the first time it's ever clocked over 250.
Yeah.
250 average speed. Insane. Around a 7-kilometer track too. Like, it's not a short track.
Yeah, like it's
to maintain that speed for that long is insane.
Yeah, we love. He fucking cooks.
So
and he loves Spa. Spa is his favorite track. He said it multiple times. And he also, his words, it's the worst pole position of the year, which is 100% true from the sprint and the race. Yeah, if there's anyone...
Shall we talk about the sprint? Sorry.
Yeah. No. I was like losing track of where I was in my notes, and then I realized that my sprint notes are so brief that it looks like quali notes. Anyways,
the sprint. Not a lot to say, but so we had Colapinto starting in the pit lane.
Yeah.
And that was just the only real notable thing before we started.
No. Gasly
Oh.
qualified like P8 or something for the sprint, and then his power unit said, "No, thanks. I'm actually not gonna."
So, yeah, I was confused about what happened because, like, I assumed he started.
He didn't start.
But then...
So
what
basically...
happened with Gasly? Because they didn't explain it during the sprint.
No, because it would have been beforehand. So if you weren't watching it live...
Yeah, I just sort of like... Yeah, I wasn't watching it live.
But basically, it was kind of explaining it right as I turned on the stream, to be fair. So I was a bit like... But basically, he had power unit issues as like on the out lap to the grid. So they had to like roll his car back into the garage, and he didn't start. So they ended up fixing it, and then they sent him out. Like he joined the race, I think like 2 laps down, and he was just like did some laps for data and all of that. And then he DNS'd, and then he also DNF'd. So, but also because the track at Spa is so long. He was literally, I saw a graphic and it's like all the dots going around, like following each other. And then Gasly just completely on the opposite side of the track to everyone, just like going around by himself.
But like, that's good though, because obviously if he's not really racing, they should keep him like out of the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Which they have the luxury of doing at Spa, like such a long track.
And it's a sprint, so like no one's going to catch up the back of him. Like he's not going to get lapped. So he basically... just did like a data run, like a practice session. But it is unfortunate because that did happen when he was starting P8. So for Alpine, it would have been nice to have a point.
Or two.
Yeah. So, I mean, normally you'd be like, oh, whatever. Like, but it is annoying that when he has a good quali and like gets, but whatever.
For
the
sure.
sprint...
Yes.
Obviously, worst pole position of the year.
Yes.
Max jumps in this. It was a good start from Oscar. But
it was a good start from Oscar.
Max,
then that slipstream that Max and Charles got, the like double overtake on the McLaren. That was cool. It was very cool to watch.
Yeah. I mean, both my drivers lost position, so I kind of hated it, but it looked cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair. My driver got into a podium position, so I was happy about that.
Yes.
Not that he kept it, but that's okay.
Yes.
Because Lando got Charles back on like lap 4 or something like that.
Yeah,
so
like
he held on to it for a minute.
Yeah, but it was cool, and it just shows the power of that slipstream up the hill, and then puts you in the perfect position to overtake on the straight. So
correct. And Oscar was like, well, I'm gonna file that away.
Yeah, literally. He was like, well, that's good to know if I start P2. Anyways, turns out Max's low downforce setup is more powerful than DRS, apparently.
Yep. DRS and like dirty air and like just...
Yeah. And yeah, once they kind of
a track that's like not very overtakeable on...
Yeah, once they caught up the back of Max, and like Lando was looking kind of speedy.
Yeah, I mean Lando got past Charles
and caught up the back of Oscar and Max, because Oscar and Max had kind of dropped the rest when Lando was stuck behind Charles.
Yeah, I think that was just like clean air for a bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because there like nothing really happened. I literally have no notes between lap 4 and lap 11.
Yeah.
When Oscar tried to have a go on Max, but was still too far away.
Yeah. And it just, nothing happened, because then both McLarens had DRS.
Exactly. It was just a little turbulent air DRS train.
Yeah. And like if Max was able to drop the McLarens, then maybe they would have been able to have a fight with each other if Oscar didn't have DRS. But Max wasn't fast enough for that.
I think they were saying as well on the commentary. Yeah, I think they were saying as well on the commentary, like in Spa, you've got to be like half a second faster than the car in front of you as well in order to like And just on a sprint race where like everyone's on the same tire and there's no pit stops, like it's just not happening.
And also no one wants to do anything too risky to risk
exactly
damaging their car for quality. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
no one wants to crash in the sprint.
Exactly.
Because you have quali for the actual race. I literally, the only other thing I'm like, both Hasses scored points in the sprint. So like, good for them.
True. We love that. Like, obviously, like, it was a nice win for Max. And like, he did seem really happy about it in his interview afterwards, which was nice.
And it's also just very funny, like the first time that Christian Horner isn't there in Red Bull's entire history. Because it's not even that he's been team principal for 20 years. He's actually never missed a race.
Yeah.
He's never not been at the track.
Always there.
Since Red Bull started, Horner has been there every single time. And then the first time he's not, Max wins the race.
Like, he has children. Surely, didn't they ever have like a recital or like something going on?
God forbid a dad doesn't want to go to his daughter's dance concert. I don't know if she does dance, but anyways.
Yeah.
You'd hope. Maybe in the winter break. True. He can go and see her perform in the Nutcracker at Christmas.
So true.
Anyways,
I think
continue.
That's was like basically the sprint.
Yeah, there's not much really to say.
It happened. Max won. Period. End of sentence.
Literally.
Let's keep it rolling. So then we had quali.
Yes.
And in Q1 we had Stroll, Alonso, Antonelli again, Colapinto, and Bortoleto. First of all, who were eliminated, which then became Lewis due to his track limits violation.
Yes. So it was very much like the track did ramp up in Q1 as well, kind of how it did in SQ2. Like there were a few random, like Behrman was setting purple sectors, Liam Lawson was like flying, like there was a lot of that going on. Mercedes was struggling again, both of them. Both Aston Martins were very slow.
Yes, and like I could have almost forgiven Stroll because Hülkenberg drove into the side of him in the pit lane as everyone was queuing up and like maybe damaged his car. I mean, they had to replace Hülkenberg's like front wing in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
There were a few little pit lane
Stroll had to come back in.
Yeah, they both had to like have fixes for that. But then because Alonso also was slow, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, clearly the cars just
not live, laugh, loving.
No.
But yeah, so Lewis had his lap time deleted and like was P16, and I was actually just like,
because he was in danger. He was already in the drop zone from the first lap, and then the second lap, I was like, okay, no, that's like comfortably through. Like it wasn't a flyer, but he was comfortably through, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. And then
everyone else just set their laps, and he was not comfortably through.
No, I'm talking about the lap that he set that then got deleted would have been comfortably through.
Oh, right. Yes.
And then we were like, okay, that's that, whatever. And then it was like, no, deleted. Yes. And it's the same place that Oscar got his deleted.
Yes, like right at the top of Eau Rouge.
Yeah. But that was obviously not ideal for him. Bortoleto was like, great. Now I'm going to get into Q3. I was meant to start P16, but now I'm starting P10 because Lewis went off the track.
You love to see it.
Like, good for you.
Yes. And then in Q2, we had Sainz, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Behrman, and Ocon eliminated.
Yes.
And I thought it was very funny, actually, at the start of Q2. Both Red Bulls, after their first flying laps, were together on the timing sheet. And I was just like, I haven't seen two Red Bull logos side by side on that timing tower in a while.
Yeah, no, that's actually such a good point.
I love this.
Yeah, because Yuki was doing really well in that session. And he also a note on Yuki. He
Yes.
now has the majority of the upgrades that Max has had for a while. So he
Yes.
has been running a severely less upgraded version of the car than Max has for quite a while. Since I think he smashed his to pieces in his massive crash at Imola.
Yes.
And it's taken a while. But he's got most of them
Yes.
now, and I think that was showing through that
For
quali.
sure.
But yeah, seeing them both up like in the top 5, I was like, whoa!
I know. So good.
I forgot that
'Cause
Red
obviously
Bull
you made it through
have
to
2
Q3.
cars.
I know. I was like, let's go, get into it.
Literally.
Ollie had a bit of a moment and like did quite well to hang on.
Yeah, it was a
after
good
going
save
quite
in the
wide.
end.
Yeah, in one of his fast laps. When everyone was queuing up to do their final fast laps, Oscar got on the radio as everyone was like in the pit lane trying to get in, shove their way into traffic, and goes, a lot of people, or like people need bigger mirrors. A lot of people need bigger mirrors.
He's so funny.
I was like, you sassy king. I'm here
love
for
him.
it.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be back in my Oscar Piastri top
Yes.
as well. It's been a while. I have to dust
We
her
love
off.
her. True. Don't walk around London in that. You might get
You might
some
get
dirty
knifed.
looks. Yeah.
Might get knifed anyway. It's London. But anyways, after sprint quali, I kind of expected more from Haas because they were flying in sprint quali, but because they changed the
Yeah.
setup on Behrman's car to go for less downforce for the wet, but I think they kept it on Ocon's. But then
Yeah.
he still had a great weekend, to be fair.
He did. And I mean, P11 and P12 is not bad.
No, in the
So,
race. Oh,
You know.
I think they finished there as well.
Yeah.
But both RBs through, and
Yep.
all 4
Bortoletto.
Red Bulls through.
It's true. Very true.
I wonder
love
when
to
the
see
last
it.
time that happened was.
A hot minute ago.
Yeah, because even when, the RB wasn't a Q3 worthy car for a long time
No.
through last year.
It
So
very
I don't know
rarely
when the
made
last
it
time that
through.
happened was. I can't be bothered to look it up. But if I'd thought of
Yeah.
that before, I would have done some research.
Searched it.
Anyways,
But yeah, no, very true. But then in Q3, no one really improved after their first lap,
No.
which was a little dull. And obviously Lando just slapped it on pole.
yeah. And what shocked me is like George Russell on his last lap set 2 purple sectors.
Yes.
And his middle sector wasn't even yellow, it was green.
Yeah.
And he still was like P6 or P5 or something. Like,
just like how did
I was
that
like,
even...
how slow did you go on your first lap in the middle sector? Like, what?
Yeah.
To be green
Just
middle
so
sector. He must
random.
have had a really, really bad middle sector on his first lap. Because
Yeah.
how are
must
you
have.
going personal best in that sector, purple the other 2, and then getting P6?
So bizarre.
Anyways, I just thought that was kind of funny. Great lap from Albon, but I was literally like, this is very stressful. After seeing what happened, obviously, with Max on Oscar in the sprint, I was like, the same fucking thing is going to happen. And everyone's
Yeah.
going to be like, Lando bottled the pole.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing was
No.
just inevitable. I was like, oh.
Yeah. As soon
Anyways.
as like Oscar put it in P2, I was like, well, I'm
Yeah.
very glad I put my lunch bet on Oscar this week.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, me too. I was literally like, as long as there's no collision, it's fine. But I was like, Oscar Piastri is going to be leading at the end of the first lap. I'd put money on it.
And he was.
And he was.
Before the race even started, when the coverage started, did you notice the new F1 movie soundtrack
Hated it.
that they replaced? Me too. I was like, I love Hans Zimmer. Think he's great. Get that shit out of here.
Because it's from the F1 movie. And I'm like, give it a fucking rest. It's had its moment and it can now fuck off.
Yeah.
That's like, oh
Like-
my God, I was about to swing. People were like, I mean, because you know how Pierre Gasly leads the run around the track earlier in the weekend for Antoine?
Yep.
People were like, what in the sunny haze is this?
No.
Huh.
No.
Because you know how he like runs around the track and the team like ran around the track and it was like,
Yeah.
but I was like,
That's been a thing. A lot of drivers do that, and this is
And
this
also-
is actually like a
his best friend died. This is not a sunny haze fucking.
yeah.
Anyways,
not
I did see someone also being like, the like, Drive to Survive fans are gonna get let off once there's like F1 movie fans.
so true. Oh my god, it's like the next generation.
Literally, I wonder when
Whoa.
I wonder how long it will take for us to get comments being like F1 movie fan.
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen very quickly.
And it's like
People
just
love to hate on us in the
yeah,
comments.
I know. Scroll back. Was the podcast before the F1 movie? Yes.
Yeah.
A lot. So,
Correct.
anyways, I'm just like that. I
funny.
thought that was really funny. People being like, this is going to be like the new insult.
That
Like the
is
next
very funny.
generation. And they're probably going to be
Yes.
even worse. Not that Drive to Survive fans are bad, but like in the opinion of like,
Yeah. No, I
it's
get
like you learn much more real stuff from Drive to Survive than the F1 movie. So I feel like it's.
Yes, for sure.
Anyways, but
Anyways.
on the coverage,
Yes.
even when I woke up, and I saw, I didn't know, I checked Instagram like later in the day and saw that Alex Dunn had won their F2 race. And I was like, great, love that kid. But in the background, it's just like pouring rain, clouds. I was like, oh, so it is
Yeah.
raining in Spa today. It is raining
Yes.
in the morning.
It was raining.
Yep.
And honestly, like the Sky Sports team had their work cut out for them, filling that hour and a half with just absolute yapping.
And they even, they brought up Brosades. They're like, you know, it's bad when it gets to the point where they're showing Nico Rosberg photos of him and Lewis.
Yep. Just like any content, any form
Literally.
of
And they're like,
interesting content.
we know that this is always dramatic and this is always
Yeah.
tea when we talk about it. So here you go.
Literally.
But
Oh,
anyway,
so silly.
Right
But
before
anyway.
the race starts, it is just chucking it down. It is so
Yeah.
wet. And
Yeah.
then the rain stops
Yeah.
and they do a lap behind the safety car. The formation lap, not a lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
The formation lap behind the safety car. And I was like, they're not gonna. I thought
Yeah.
because it was stopping raining, I was like, maybe they will get a few laps in and then the rain will start again and then they might red flag it. Because it was like the rain was stopping and then there was like no rain for a bit and then there was like another rain spell like 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe they can, you know, get it going.
Yeah.
But I also just wanted them to because I didn't want to miss the end of the race because I had to go to work. So I was like, it's fine. Just drive. Just go. It's fine.
Yeah. It wasn't the rain, it was just the visibility. Like
Yeah.
you just can't see anything.
Yeah, and even Lando was like,
obviously
I
so
can't really
dangerous.
see behind the safety car. Like, imagine someone back in like P15.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, glad that they decided to red flag. The length of time that they red flagged it for, maybe a little
feel like
on the
they-
cautious side.
Yeah, I feel like they could have started it sooner, but then obviously it rained again.
Yeah.
Like that spell did come a bit later.
Yes. I love all the memes that's like the full wet tires. Like, am I a joke to you?
Yes.
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 You're so useless.
Literally. I also thought it
But
was really funny.
anyways,
Back to like before before they even got going on the original formation lap, Nico Rosberg joined Martin Brundle on the grid walk, and that was just hilarious. So funny.
Yes.
He was causing mayhem. He was like, found Bottas and was like, so you're driving for Cadillac? And then found Jos Verstappen and was like, how do you feel? Did you get Christian Horner fired? I was like, oh my God.
I love it. I love it so much.
I know, me too. It's so funny. And Jenson Button was there, like, just hanging out, like, not as, he was like, he was so unbothered. He was literally like, I love being here and not working. He was like, so chill. He was like, this is great. Like, just so.
He's like, I don't have Danica Patrick standing next to me.
Literally. So he was just so unbothered on the grid. And I was like, wow, he's just having a blast. Anyways,
we love that.
The red flag was passed by showing a lot of shots of Charles Leclerc.
Yes, he loves
as per.
Yep. And then we finally got started again and started behind the safety car.
Yes.
Which I was like, Lando's probably loving this. And then we had a rolling start, which again is a little bit disappointing. Like, obviously the start is so exciting, like a proper standing start. But again, understand given the circumstances.
And also, like, as they were driving around and Lando said on the radio, he was like, one side of the track on the main straight is a lot wetter than the other. And
yes. So, like,
obviously
half the cars would be disadvantaged.
Including him. So, obviously, he's being like, this needs to be a rolling start because I'm at a disadvantage. I'm like, you're already at a disadvantage. You're on pole and Spa. Like, you're getting overtaken on the Camel Straight. Like,
correct.
I don't think,
But
it was definitely like rolling start was like, maybe he won't get overtaken.
Yes.
But
then he did.
And then he had battery issues as well.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, no.
I know, I was like, oh my God, is he going to like even be able to make it through the rest of the race?
That's what I thought, because I was like, I don't really like, yes, Oscar's gotten past, whatever, fine, 1, 2, whatever.
Yeah.
DNF, technical DNF for Lando at this point in time would have been terrible. Like,
massive.
Poor.
Yeah.
So I was literally like,
yeah.
But it was fine. But I also did see Nico Rosberg, who is a Lando fan, grilling Zach Brown about it after the race. Did you see
saw
this?
that too. Yeah.
He was literally like, so Lando's battery issue, like, did that cost him on the start? And Zach Brown was like, yes. And Nico was like, well, that's super important. Like, that could have cost him the win. Like, do you know how important that is? Like, that could be really, really vital.
Yeah.
And Zach Brown was like, yeah.
He was like,
Nico was like, did that cost Lando the win today? And Zach was like, I don't think so. I think with that slingshot from P2 at Spa, he's probably going to get overtaken anyway. But maybe because it was a rolling start, if he didn't have battery issues, maybe it would have been fine. But I just think that.
But like, who knows?
It was whatever. It happened. Shit happens.
Totally.
That's the way it goes.
Exactly.
Then basically Lewis started chopping the field.
As he should. And it was very fun to watch him just like slicing up these cars in the rain. It was very cool. But there were like Haas's and Saubers and the cars he should be overtaking. So I was like, yes. Go King.
But also, sometimes he does just hang out back there. When he has a bad quali, and he does end up just pissing around back there. So.
Yes. So he was just managing to find grip to be able to overtake people, which like, you know, obviously his experience, like,
and he's a good he's known as a good wet weather driver as well. Like, that is. But
agreed.
Charles versus Max was really fun.
I literally, the next bullet point I have is Max and Charles battling was fun. Wow, we're the same.
Wow. Mine says Max and Charles fun battle.
There you go. Charles did an amazing job keeping Max behind him the whole race.
Yeah.
Like,
they were like this the whole race, just super close.
I know. So, like,
how was your heart rate
especially
about
given, that? I mean, it was kind of fine because the gap never really closed until right at the end
Yeah.
when like Charles went wide and then like he got close to within a second, but it was sitting at like 2.2 the whole time. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like nothing's really happening. Again, the whole like dirty air thing, like just nothing doing.
No, 100%. But
And then on lap 12, Lewis was the first one to pit for slicks. And a few of the back markers did the same. Because obviously everyone's inters were getting like shredded.
because the track was
one lap
getting
later,
hella dry.
yeah. And then everyone was like, okay, cool, slicks work. And then like the rest of the grid pitted.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting because in Silverstone, everyone pitted for slicks way too early, and then everyone was just slip sliding around. And I was like, well, I don't trust you guys to like put slicks on at the right time after that display. So I was like, who's going to be sliding around? No one. And also just the fact that Ferrari were the first to call it, I was like,
I know. One of my like memes of the weekend was like, you know, the like normal like Ferrari clown like pit wall, but it was like Chad faces instead, and it was like
The Giga
Lewis
Chad
box
pit
box
wall.
now to gain 6 places.
yeah. Literally though. Like what the fuck? But they
Ferrari turned up with the strategy.
I know,
this
they took my
weekend.
prediction personally.
Yeah. They were like, Evie of Lights Out with Ish and Eve called
Think
us out.
we're gonna fuck the
and
strategy.
Yeah.
And they
So,
did not fuck it
Thanks,
at
Ferrari.
all.
Yes.
But then it was very interesting with McLaren then deciding to split their strategy.
Yes.
And not do a
They
double
had
stack.
to.
But it turned out
Well,
fine.
actually, that's true. They could have, if Lando had slowed down like a second and created like a second or two more gap, they could have, but he didn't.
But they also could have told him to, and they didn't.
No, totally. When I say Lando could have, like,
Yeah.
they needed to tell him to do that to create
Yeah.
space so that they could double stack. But yeah, they just didn't.
Because
So
I was having flashbacks
that was the only
of
thing they could do.
Silverstone last year when they left Oscar out
Yes.
for another lap and he lost so much time that he came out in like P7.
Yeah.
And I was like, because it's a long lap too. I was like, don't leave him out. This like,
I know.
But he kept P2, but then he was like then 8 seconds down the track, and then it was like the whole, do you want to go on a hard tire and go to the end? Yes. And I was like, this could get interesting, but
Yes.
it didn't. But
It didn't.
And it was funny.
I was like, this could be a good gamble. It could pay off. And then it was like all mediums, and like Lando was the only one on hards.
And it didn't
And I
go
was like,
badly because I was like, is the hard tire really slow? Because it looked really slow in practice. But he was flying on that hard tire. But he was
I know.
pushing. He was like
Yes.
fully sending it as he had to. But like, yeah, it was just
Totally.
a bit, like it never really was going to happen because the medium didn't degrade as much as it was going to, especially Oscar being able to manage it out front with clean air.
Yeah.
Obviously there was like those few moments that Lando had because he was pushing so hard.
Yeah.
That ended, I think there was 3 of them in the end, like a couple of lockups and then going wide, going wide,
Going wide.
which I think altogether Martin Brundle was saying cost him about 2.7 or something, or like 2.6.
Yeah.
6.
Which was like the gap in the end. Like he probably could have got him.
And I think what would have happened if he hadn't had those errors is he would have caught up the back of him, which would have made Oscar push his mediums, and that's when he could have got him. Like on pure pace, maybe not, but like he needed to get Oscar to push his tires because like he needed to be behind him so he couldn't nurse them because he just nursed them home with no pressure.
Well, exactly.
from behind.
And like right at the end when he had a couple laps left, he like hit the accelerator. And it was like, okay, so clearly you had rubber to spare.
So
I have a bone to pick though with Sky Sports and Martin Brundle and Crofty.
yes.
Because like
British bias.
every time, bro, it's so bad. And like I know it's bad. And I know that like I'll be biased for an Australian driver or like Ferrari. But like the way they talk about Oscar when Lando is behind him is like he's the villain and like he's the one stopping Lando from like winning the championship.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he is, but you're a commentator. You're meant to be like, it frustrates me so much because it was like all the commentary did that whole time was talk about like, oh, like, is Lando going to be able to get him? Is Lando? There was not a single like positive comment about Oscar until right at the end when he won. It was just like, oh, Lando. Like, how about we just talk about what an amazing drive Oscar's doing right now?
Yeah.
Like,
and how well he's nursing his tires, and like the fact that his mediums haven't fallen off a cliff. Especially when people were pitting off the medium, they were like, does this mean Oscar's going to have to pit? They're not like, wow, Oscar's doing so well that his haven't fallen off a cliff.
Yeah. Like,
it's really funny.
Say something positive about the man. Just one time.
I know. And it's like,
before he crosses the line and you have to say something nice about him.
And you just say Piastri wins the Belgian Grand Prix.
Yeah. Like, voluntarily, mid-race, say something nice about Oscar Piastri. Please.
That's so
From the
funny.
nation of
so
Australia.
True. Yeah, it is so true.
Anyway, that was just my little rant.
But also...
like,
just kidding.
yes, you go.
No. I was like trying to look at like what else happened. Nothing.
Well, I was going to say Lewis, like after everyone pitted, like all the people that pitted a second time, Lewis like all of a sudden spawned in P7.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, from a pit lane start, because I didn't even mention that 20% of the cars started in the pit lane.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. But like to go from pit lane to P7.
Incredible. Really, really good drive.
Such an incredible drive. And like obviously Ferrari's strategy, I can't believe I'm saying this, helped him do that.
I fear you're in for hell the next few weeks. That's normally how it goes.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we're so back, baby. It's the cycle.
Literally. But just ride the wave while you have it. Take it in.
you gotta appreciate these moments.
Yep.
Anyways, so yes, Lando unfortunately made those few mistakes, and it sucks because that's just like the narrative around him.
Yeah.
And I hate to see it happen again. But an incredible, calm, and well-managed race from Oscar.
100%. Yeah.
Because it would have just taken one little slip from him as well, and like the whole race. Like,
I think
changes.
he just had the benefit of being out front with a gap and like not having to push. Like Lando, realistically, yes, it does play into the narrative, but when you're pushing flat out for 30 laps, you're gonna have, like, most people would make a couple of little errors. Like it's just gonna happen, and it is just annoying that is his whole narrative. But like, like I'm sure if Oscar had to put his foot down, he might have had a couple slips too. And I'm not trying to take away from the fact that it was an incredible drive from him and he managed his tires and the whole race so incredibly.
No, but like he wasn't under pressure, like really.
Yeah, like
Lando.
people just love to nitpick on what Lando's done wrong and like not take the full circumstance into account. So I just want to.
Yes. No, 100%, 100%.
But
yes, an incredible win from Oscar, a Ferrari podium. I was very happy.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we didn't get to really see any, like, Max and Charles, because once we got onto Slicks, George also had joined that battle a little bit and then just disappeared.
Yes.
But when it was like Charles, Max, George, I was like, this could be fun.
Yes. Nothing.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So that was the race.
We got to the end. Oscar won the Grand Prix. He's back on the top step.
Yay.
I thought it was really, really funny in the interviews when they had to talk to both McLarens about the fact that it's Hungary next.
I know.
And because when they're talking to Lando, they were like, it's a good track for you. like, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, it is. I like the track. I debuted there. I should have fucking won the race last year.
Literally, they're like, Oscar, you like won the race there last year, and he's like, yeah.
He was like, because they were like, it's a Lando favored track, like it's more suits Lando than it does Oscar, and they were talking about like, oh, it's like, you know, one of Lando's better tracks, like, you know, but you won there last year. And he was like,
Yeah.
uh-huh. Happy memories, for sure. Even I'm, like, triggered to be going back to Hungary. I'm like, I don't want to go back there. No papaya rules. Just the fact that this whole week I'm going to have papaya rules in my face every time I open TikTok because everyone's going to be talking about it again. Like,
Yeah, true.
that was traumatic. And it ruined Oscar's first win. And I'm still not over it.
Fair.
Because it shat all over Oscar's first win.
Totally. I know.
Anyways, I digress.
Shall we do our awards? All right. So, biggest winner. Who was your biggest winner?
Oscar.
Yes.
To get back on the top step of the podium. After
sure.
a while. I don't think he hasn't won since Miami, right? So, like...
Yeah.
That was the start of May, so it's been like a few months since he's won.
Yeah. Because he had 3 in a row, and then
hasn't had one since. And I also had Ferrari, because first of all, their upgrades, and then Charles getting on the podium and Lewis with that incredible drive, and the fact that they got the strategy right. So
I had the exact same.
Yeah, they're on the winners list. What about your losers?
Yes. I had Aston Martin, obviously. Just bad race for them. I had Carlos Sainz, who, as I mentioned before, stuck down in P18 while his teammates up in P6. Just through bad luck and all sorts of issues.
Yeah.
And also Franco Colapinto. Like, I think he's yet to have a good race.
Yeah. He hasn't had a good race since he debuted last year.
Yeah, and
I'm
like
joking.
flying under the radar with it too.
Yeah, he's getting off
like
easy.
flying under the
Everyone
radar,
was on Jack doing so hard for doing nothing wrong, except for crashing in Suzuka. That was pretty bad. But
yeah, but like he's just, and I know he hasn't been putting it in the wall as much as Jack Doohan has, which is good. But like he just is absolutely nowhere and just has not had a good performance yet.
No, and like Jack Doohan was making it through to Q2 far more frequently than Colapinto is.
Yeah.
Like, and was on the verge of scoring points a few times. So I'm like, are you going for the guy who maybe doesn't crash as much and is
but drives slower.
Consistently P20, or you could bring back our Aussie friend who maybe put it in the wall a little bit too frequently, but also was threatening to do better. I can't really say he was because he didn't score a point either. But Alpine weren't good and still aren't.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I did see a meme that was like Jack Doohan apology form, and it's like, reason I didn't like you. And it was like, 1, I'm Argentinian. It was like the tick boxes. It was like, I'm Argentinian. I fell for the propaganda. I trusted Flavio Briatore. It was like, yeah, because I've seen a lot of them for like Sergio Perez apology form. So it was like that similar thing, but like for Jack Doohan. And I was like, good. People are realizing.
Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of memes, what was your biggest meme for the weekend?
I didn't say my biggest losers yet either, just by the way.
Oh, so sorry. Apologies. My bad.
It's fine. I had Yuki because he had a great quali, and then
he was looking good.
Race didn't go well, and apparently he was fuming about his timing of his second pit stop.
Yeah.
He felt like that really cost him points. But I just thought he was definitely in a position to score points this weekend. So that was a bit of an L. And my other one is pole position at Spa.
So true.
Is low-key a fat L.
Yeah, facts.
Yes.
Biggest meme.
Biggest meme.
Please hold. Hold for dramatic effect.
Yes. No, this, it's just like a screenshot of the YouTube video of like sprint highlights Belgium, like the thumbnail. Yeah. And with the little 6 minutes. And it's like, how the hell did they find 6 minutes of highlights?
Honestly, nothing happened after the first lap. But anyway, it's fine.
And then I have this other one, which is like a screenshot of some TikTok comments, which are not to do with Lando, but someone has just said like Lando Norris Belgian GP highlights, and it's just a section of TikTok comments. He did the thinkable, stoppable on his day, believable player, strikes confidence into defenders. Streets will forget what he's done for us. So it's just like all of the like cliche good things to say flipped. And like, as much as I hate it because that is the whole Lando narrative and I don't think it's 100% true, it is just really funny.
That is really funny. Believable result is hilarious.
Yeah. And then I just have this one, which is like more of a fun fact. Like Piastri in China, P2 in the sprint, P1 in the race. Piastri in Miami, P2 in the sprint, P1 in the race. Piastri at Spa, P2 in the sprint, P1 in the race. So basically, every sprint weekend we've had this year, Oscar's come second in the sprint and won the race.
Wow.
So we've had 3 out of 6 sprints, and that has happened.
That is a fun fact. I don't know if that was actually your like useless stat. But...
No, it wasn't. I have actually multiple useless stats. I haven't had a good one for a few weeks, so I've come locked and loaded.
You've come prepared.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, my biggest meme was during all the rain delays when they showed like drivers like little fun facts and things like that about themselves. And Charles's one was the fact that he was like, well, a fun fact about me is that I can never park properly. And there was so many screenshots of his Instagram and people being like, we know. And like every photo he's ever posted standing next to like a really nice car and it's just like parked across 3 spots. And you're like...
I did see that. That was really funny.
Yeah. All right, hit me with your useless stats.
Yes, okay. I've got a few. I'll start with my worst one because I just thought it was interesting.
Yes.
At Spa, no one has ever won from P4. And in the whole history of F1, only 68 races have been won from P4. And the most recent one being Oscar in Miami. Won from P4.
I did hear when they said the 68 thing on the commentary.
Yeah, but no one's ever won from P4 at Spa.
In Spa. That's crazy.
So when Max qualified P4, everyone was like...
Yeah. Could this be?
No. And then I've got 2 more fun facts for you.
Yes.
19 points is the highest ever points scored for a team that's currently in last at the halfway point of the season. So Alpine are currently in last position in the Constructors' Championships, but they're on 19 points, and that's the highest ever that a team in last has had at the halfway point of a season.
Yeah, right.
They now have more points because Gasly scored another point, I think, or another couple of points. Yes. But also Gasly has scored every single one of those points that Alpine has.
True.
So there's that.
Him and Max Verstappen know what that feels like.
Yeah. My last useless stat that I have for you, I quite like this one.
Yes.
Ollie Behrman has just equaled the record, but a lot of people have the same record. It's not like equaled with one other person, it's a handful of other people. Has just equaled the record of consecutive finishes in the same position in a row. So,
I did hear this for P11.
But the fact that it's for P11 is so sad.
I know.
So... Apart from finishing first, this is he's equaled the streak of consecutive finishes in the same position with 4 P11 finishes in a row. But just the fact that it's P11 is just so rough.
I know.
I'm like, bruh.
It's like you're so consistently so close.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. But anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. Do you have a useless stat?
That is funny. I did. It was that all the drivers who were on the podium this week, as in the main race, so Oscar, Lando and Charles, all have 8 F1 wins in their careers. And so did Jackie Ickx, who was the checkered flag waver this weekend, who was an F1 driver in the 60s and 70s. So they were all in the little 8 wins club.
Also, on the 8 wins train, Oscar Piastri, with his 8th win, has now equaled Daniel Ricciardo's win record. So,
true.
There's that.
I fear it will be passed very soon.
Yes, potentially in a week's time. But
Yeah.
yeah. But I was like, oh,
Fair.
little passing of the torch.
Yeah, true.
I miss him.
What was your favorite moment of the weekend?
I don't really know. There wasn't anything that was like super exciting. I really liked something we didn't talk about. We talked about Lewis obviously chopping the field, but his overtake on Liam Lawson,
Yeah, that was very good.
that was like the most dramatic thing that happened in the race.
Yeah. I know.
I don't know. I feel like there wasn't really that many like moments.
Agreed. My favorite moment of the weekend was SQ2.
Yeah.
And also just actually witnessing Ferrari do a good strategy.
Yay!
It can be done.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Nice. Did you have a silly surprise?
Oh, I did. It was, well, it's not very exciting.
Yeah.
It was just like how long the rain delays were for. It was and just like seeing what everyone was doing during the rain delays was just silly. Everyone just like having cups of tea and like wandering around.
Yeah.
What was your silliest surprise?
Yes. I had two.
Yes.
Both Hasses in the sprint points.
Yeah.
That's silly. And also just the fact that it was a dry race in the end. Like, after all of that rain, and it was all talk of it being wet, and it ended up literally just being a dry race. Like, after all that.
True. So true. It was very silly.
Who was your driver of the day?
I had a few. Obviously, like, Oscar did a great job just leading out the front. But then the two Ferrari drivers were so good. Like, both of them in different ways, and for different reasons. But, like, Charles just being able to keep Max behind that whole time, and Lewis, obviously, with an incredible comeback drive from the pit lane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were mine. What about you?
I agree with you. And I do agree with the people. Pit lane to P7 is amazing. So, definitely Lewis.
Yes.
I also have honourable mention to Alex Albon.
True.
Keeping his P5 and keeping Lewis behind at the end. And for quite a while, Lewis got stuck once he caught the back of Alex Albon. He stopped his charge.
I mean, we've already talked about Hungary a little bit, and how you're so excited to go back. Yeah.
Do you want to know something fun? At work, I work with a Hungarian couple, and they taught me how to pronounce it properly. The name of the track, and I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yes.
So obviously we sit here, we say we're off to the Hungaroring, Hungaroring, but they say, well, fuck, what did they say? Now I forgot. They say Hungaroring. They say Hungaroring.
Hungaroring.
Yeah. Something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was like talking about
I feel like I'm just putting on an accent, and I don't know if that's bad.
No. But I was like trying to say it, and they said I was doing okay. And then they laughed at me. So I don't think I was doing it good. But basically they're going back to Hungary.
Imagine
and I was like,
if they just told you that
because
they knew you were going to say that on the internet.
But they don't know that I would say it on the internet. They don't know about the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So they wouldn't know. Ungaroring. But like a lot more are rolling than I can manage. Because Australians are notoriously lazy with how they speak. So it's difficult. But anyways, I was like, oh, you're going to Hungary. And then I was like, oh, the race is on. And then they were like, yeah, Ungaroring. And I was like, whoa. The what?
Come again?
Huh? Anyways, last year was horrible in Hungary.
Yes.
We had the infamous papaya rules incident, and it was horrible. But Hungary as well, great track, boring race. It's kind of in the realms of Suzuka, where it's like great track, not a lot of opportunity for overtaking, and used to be good and is no longer.
Yeah, so, it just doesn't suit today's cars.
Exactly. It's also as I mentioned earlier, one of Lando's really good tracks where he performs quite well. So he will like to go there. Last year, the podium was Oscar, Lando, and Max.
Yeah.
I can't even remember who was in P3 because I was so traumatized about what was happening in front.
Yeah, valid.
It was either Max, Charles, or George. It was one of them.
I think it might have been Charles.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Don't know. But anyways,
We'll see.
I'm nervous. I mean, I shouldn't be. It will be fine. It's not going to happen again.
Yes.
But
No.
just to go to the scene of the crime is... it's not good. And it was Oscar Piastri's first ever win in F1, which we do have to mention. But I like to think of Baku as that because at least in Baku he could celebrate properly.
Yes, agree. His first proper win.
Exactly. So, anyways, it will be fun. Next
It
weekend,
will.
so only 1 week off. In between.
And then summer break.
And Oscar goes into Hungary with now a 16-point lead in the championship after finishing obviously first in the race, but then ahead of Lando in the sprint, which is double what he was before, but it's still not much. Like,
No.
it's
Very catchable.
very catchable. Anyways, you have anything else to mention?
No, I think that's it.
Amazing. Perfect. Well, if you're listening, give us a 5-star review because it really helps us out. And if you're watching on YouTube, like the video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And we just hit 1,000 subscribers. So...
Did we actually?
Yeah.
I posted it on our story, like, we're so close. Please.
Yeah, no, we did because
We've been sitting at like 990 something for like so long. I was like, please.
A week. We're currently at 1,002. So
thank you to those like 4 people.
Yeah, thank you. And everyone else as well for subscribing.
Yes. Correct.
So we really appreciate you and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.